Meu nome é Bianca.
I'm 43 years old. I live in São Paulo, and I work doing research, field research, with the trans population.
Eu sou Kátia Cristina Basequeto.
My relationship with HIV is that I was diagnosed with HIV positive 18 years ago. And then I thought that I was about to die, that I was going to lose a lot of weight, yeah. So I started looking for places where that could give me information. Yeah, I participated in different projects, and she participated in a pilot project that was called Tudo de Bom. So throughout all her experience, then she demystified this idea of living with AIDS, yeah. And also pass that on to her peers. And it was great, the impact of this project, and it's really rewarding to be able to talk to your peers about that, because it's very hard to find another T person to speak about these things that many times are taboo. Yeah, and thanks to this project, many of them kept doing the treatment, stayed in treatment, and they are really grateful today. There's still a lot of prejudice about HIV. So it's never easy to talk about that. People don't want to talk about that, but she uses a lot of strategies to get into the topic. Yeah, so it's not that something that she will come and start right away talking about that. So first they engage in a relationship, and also she tries to pass on the idea that as you have non-communicative disease, that you need to do a follow-up as if you have high blood pressure or even diabetes, that people need to do treatment for the rest of their lives, and it's something that is accepted. Well, it's the same in the case of HIV. People prefer to live with it, but not to talk about it. So for her, it's very empowering the fact to be able to talk about with peers, because if you talk with another T person, that other person will open up. In general, when you go to see a doctor, the doctor really don't even look at your face. The visit is very, very short, yeah, and they just prescribe you the medication, and that's it. For instance, in her case, she's been taking the same medication for 20 years. There is a new medication now, and she could change because this new medication doesn't have any counter effects, yeah, but the doctor refuses to do that change because under the agreement that she has done it for 20 years and she should keep it. Because she hasn't had any of those counter effects, but her will is to change because the new drug doesn't have any counter effects, but the doctor won't do that change. He would argue that no, you need another 6 months, let's do another test to count your viral load and all that, and invents excuses for not to do the change, and that's very common to happen. So we are forced to change doctors, and we, despite of, although it's not perfect, yeah, we have these outpatient clinics for trans that specializes in the trans population that is here in downtown. And so although I live far away in the periphery, I am forced to come to this service because there they will do the transition. They will allow me to do the transition for this new drug. And she has colleagues, yeah, that have done that. It's a facility also that is receiving trans men, that is also new, and that they are treated differently, they are treated well, and that even in her case that she's an activist. Yeah, so imagine in other cases that people are not so well prepared as she is. The trans patients were still being called by their male name instead of their social name. Yeah, but they would say that despite the fact that they didn't like that, they wouldn't complained so much because still they were better treated there than in other kind of services. Yeah. Despite meetings that the administration organized in order to train the doctors and all the team, about how to use the names and in other aspects, they said that, well, prejudice is everywhere. It's also within the doctors. Now, for instance, they have trans women in the reception of the place, working in the reception of the place.